Yo, what's good everybody? So welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can snipe any coin that comes out, as well as tickers. You can snipe Twitters, you can snipe anything, all right? Now there's two primary ways that you can do this. Both ways work great and I use both, right? Now one of them is really cool, so just stay tuned for that one. But first, you're obviously going to need a trading platform. So the trading platform I recommend is going to be Axiom Pro. And yeah, everything's going to be linked in the description, so make sure you do that. And yeah, let's get started. So what is sniping exactly? Well, sniping is pretty much becoming the first person or one of the first people to get into a coin when it comes out. So you're basically going to be buying the second it comes out, right? Right after the developer makes it. Now, there is some tricky things, right? Because you don't want to be the dev's exit liquidity, right? If the coin just goes to zero and becomes nothing, right? So that's the tiny risk. But unless the dev is buying with like 10 sold or something insane, then realistically, you're only risking like 10%, 15%, and your potential is literally like as high as it can be. You could literally double, you could make 100% gain, you could literally make 1,000% gain. You're literally getting in at 5K market cap of the coin, right? The beginning of the coin. So if the dev buys with one soul and the coin doesn't go anywhere, then you only lose 10%. But what I'm going to be showing you is how you can be able to get into coins that actually send, right? And also be able to front run other snipers to be able to get ahead of them, which I'll be showing you coming up. So let's get started. So how are we going to find a coin and how are we going to find a dev to snipe? So firstly, what you could do is you could look for coins that have run previously and maybe see if a dev that's made good coins, right? So if we look at this dev on Skillless Coin, it looks like it's a community coin. He's only made one coin, right? Now, if this was a coin that sent super hard, right? For example, like Pui's coin. Let's look at Pui's. So this was like a super big meme, and he's made 15 coins already, right? So after Pui's came out, right, he made Zawinski, right? And we can see what happened to this coin. So let's go back, 4 months old. I'm gonna have to scroll back a little bit. But basically the coin went absolutely crazy, right? And if you were able to get to be one of the first people that got in this coin, right? You could see it got sniped pretty hard, right? But what I'm gonna show you is how you could be able to front run these other snipers, right? So this coin went all the way to, looks like 100K. Let's see if it went any higher. So the first coin he made went over like 100K, right? So it's almost guaranteed when you have a coin that's like this big, like for example, Fart Coin, right? Or any of these other coins, they're gonna go crazy when the dev makes another coin. So what we're gonna look for is we're gonna look for the tokens that are the previous age. Sorry, we're gonna be looking and filtering this through the oldest transactions of this coin. So as we can see, this coin, you could have bought in perfectly at 5K or whatever, right? So the dev bought with 1.5 SOL. Don't worry about the 30 SOL because that's going to be the liquidity pool. That's just what gets initiated. Someone's not buying 30 SOL. It's just the liquidity pool. So someone sniped with 15 SOL. Someone sniped with 14 SOL, right? Because they know this strategy. And nobody's telling you this strategy, okay? It's only me that's telling you this strategy. I can guarantee 90% of you guys have not even heard about this. So if you haven't already, go drop a like and a comment down below if you want me to make future videos about this, because this is like serious alpha, right? This is like super good information where you can implicate this in every trade. Not even just these kind of trades. You can do this with any other kind of thing, right? And I'm going to show you how you can be able to get in front of these guys, get before their transactions, okay? So stay tuned for that. Now, we've noticed that these big buys, right? Even after these 15 SOL, 14.85 buy, you could have bought, look, they pumped the price from 6K to 12K. You could have bought here with like 0.07 at 16K, right? Even though, and this coin, within like a couple seconds, it migrated, one of the snipers sold, it went all the way up to 69. So if you didn't want to hold for all that time, you could have literally got in at 26K or maybe even 16K, right? Any of these prices, and you could have made an easy 3 to 4x, right? But what I'm going to show you is how you can get ahead of all these people instead of just being after, right? So this is like, first of all, this is like sniping, But like, this is like ghillie suit sniping, right? Like, you're going to be like better than any other sniper, right? Instead of just hiding in a random building, you're going to be like wearing the grass suit, right? The camouflage suit, and, you know, be undetectable basically, right? And be the first one right after the dev. And I'll show you some other coins, okay? We're just starting with this one. So what we're going to look for is, obviously, if you buy with $1, right, then that's just not, there's no point. This is about basically getting in first. So you need to be like a sniper, right? That's like the whole point. So how are you going to snipe? Well, there's two platforms that I recommend. The first one is going to be Padre, right? Because Padre is very, very similar to Axiom in a lot of ways. And it's a really, really cool platform. Not only that, you can literally you can automate a lot of stuff. You can copy trade, right? You can make a new automation, do all these filters, and you can also do pump fun snipes, right? So you can do a pump fun sniper, you can do a new automation, put all the things, right? So let's say if the dev buys with 50 soul, right, and he's just farming it, you could put it to where he doesn't, if he makes the coin with 50 soul, your sniper doesn't go through, right? You could do like, oh, the max snipe is going to be 2. If he buys over 2 soul, then I'm not going to buy it, right? Because this guy bought with 1.5, which is fine, right? That's fine. He can do that. So then that's protecting you from a lot of things, right? And not only that, you can import all the wallets into here. And yeah, there's some really, really, really cool tools on this platform. So if the snipe goes off, you instantly get notified. You can click on the coin. Let's say it was this Pika coin, for example. It shows your average entry, instant, right? The other way you could do it is you could get Bloom. So I'll leave a link for Bloom in the description. It's another free trading bot. And you can set up AFK mode, right? And then you would do, oh my goodness, these freaking emojis. How do I get rid of them? So annoying. Okay, so let me do add new config. And then let's see here. Or actually, let me just click on, let me go slash. Okay, you're going to go slash start, AFK mode. Then you're going to click on one of these. And then you're going to do the fees, okay? So I'll show you what fees you're going to do. You can choose your buy amount. And slippage, I like to do it a little bit higher. So just in case if another sniper gets in, I can get in, you know, before them or a little bit after them, right? And then this is one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is going to be the region, right? So I believe, let me look for where you can set that. You'll be able to set where you're going to be sniping it from. So let's see, wallet 3 platforms. So you obviously have to select which platform you want to snipe it on as well. And then you're going to choose which developer, right? So you're going to get the dev wallet right here. So we're going to go to dev tokens. And then we're going to click, we can click this right here. Or we can even go to SoulScan, right? So here's his wallet right here. And then we just copy this. And we're going to go back to Bloom. And then you'd go to whitelisted developer, paste, boom, right? And then to activate it, you're going to push activate. If you wanted to snipe a ticker, like if you want, let's say he was making the coin name Zawinski, right? Then you'd snipe the ticker. If you want to snipe a launcher coin, right, from here, boom, right there, boom. And then exact name and ticker. So if it was an exact name and ticker with a space, you can do that as well. So how do you know what fees to use? Typically, if it's a coin that's not going to be like super mass sniped, like a huge dev making it, like say it's like an underground dev or a dev that just made a good coin before, I would do 0.001, 0.003, right? Just like a normal amount, right? You don't need to do like just the fees that you typically use on Axiom. You don't need to do anything crazy. But if you want to get ahead of these people, let's click and do some on-chain analysis on this coin real quick. So the first guy that bought in after the dev bought with 15 soul. So now let's open SoulScan, and I'm going to show you how you can understand how much he paid. So in order for him to be the first transaction, right? He bought 15 soul. He paid 0.77 soul, $136, right? For his fee. And then for his priority fee, which would be like his MEV protection tip, for both fees, he paid 0.777 soul. So he paid around $270 basically to be the first transaction, right? But his main buy amount was 2,600. So we paid almost a soul in a tip, basically, chipping Jito and also the priority fee to be the first transaction of this coin, which paid off, right? Because look at where he got filled. He got filled at 6.39K. So he probably made a bag on this, right? And the next guy, let's see how much he paid. So we're going to tap on the 14.5 guy. We're going to tap on SoulScan. And look at that. he only paid 0.005. So he paid like $1 in fees. Now we can look at the next guy. Let's see this guy. He paid super low amount of fees. And then we could look at the next guy. Let's look at the guy that paid with 15 SOL. Another 15 SOL guy. He paid 0.5. So how are these guys that are paying less in fees getting in before everybody else? Right? That's like the big question. Well, this is the thing that nobody tells you is like, how do you get in? How does someone that with a lower transaction fee get in before? Well, it's all about the nodes. So if you can, you're basically sniping this on block 1, the first block, right? The second it comes out. So if you can get a node that's the fastest, right? For example, on Axiom, we already have a node. You can choose where it is, right? You could choose global, Australia, Asia, EU, Eastern, like Russia, I guess, EU Central, EU Western, US Eastern, US Central, US Western, right? And whichever one's closest to your location is going to be the fastest, right? Now, if you can get a node, for example, if you know like someone that's in a different region, you could put your node for that. So if you were to hypothetically know where this guy lives, then you could put your node on his location, right? And then it's going to like send it instantly. So this is where you do some more research, right? And sometimes you're not going to always be able to find it. But if you have a little bit of a higher priority fee, then sometimes you just get lucky, right? You could even put like auto thing so it gets you the fastest node at the time. You could do that on Bloom. You could do that on Padre. You could do that on whatever, right? So I have all the links for these in the description. You'll get like the max discount on fees. And yeah, I mean, like if you don't use it, then you don't have to. But I mean, it's like a win-win. You know what I'm saying? So you get, I believe it's like 20% off on Padre. You also get 40% rake back on your fees. So like the highest in the market. And then on Bloom, you also get a discount on sniping. And it's just super fast on sniping. Like this is like my go-to, both of these platforms. So you could see like this was definitely a sniper candle that sold. So you could have also, what you could have done is you could have got this, go to a platform like Celio, add the wallet, right? Add the wallet into here. And then what you could do after that is you get the notification on your phone that the coin was created by this person. And then you could look for an entry, right? Like this guy that's 15 SOL, he probably nuked it, right? Because he probably nuked 40 SOL or something crazy, 30 SOL. And then he's completely out of the coin, right? And then you could have instantly bought here at 12K and then it goes up to 56. Like it's like almost guaranteed that it's going to go up after a candle like that when he literally launched Pui's coin, which if you guys don't know, Pui's went to like 60 something mil or something, 50 mil. And I had a 50K entry. So I literally paper handed like 600K on this. So yeah, that's probably going to be part 1 of this video because I don't want to drag it out too long. I'll definitely make a part 2. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys need a free Discord trading community, feel free to join the one in the link in the description. And yeah, thank you for watching.